Yes.
Exactly.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Well, it's nice to be on your show, and thank you very much indeed. Yeah, was I talking to you, and I didn't realize you couldn't hear me. Just to say, it's amazing what we can do with technology these days, and I'm so delighted to be here to share my experience with your audience. Um, Housewives and Girlfriend was the first TV series that I did, and that itself was an experience on its own. So from there, I learned and used that to develop other other, I suppose, other productions, including Our Share and also Christmas movies as well.
Awesome. That's great. So it's not from experience, is it? But the movie is from experience.
Uh, you mean in terms of the? It was from experience. Housewives and Our Share itself was I did Housewives and Girlfriends in 2013. Was the first time I came into Nollywood. Before that, I was a TV presenter for many years. And so after I went through a very difficult time, I don't know if this is the right time to talk about it.
We are coming to that.
Okay, so then I created Housewives and Girlfriends, and from there on, things kind of snowballed. And I realized that my goodness, there's opportunity to create another TV series, and I love TV series because of my experience as a TV presenter, and that's because I can structure the series per location, per cast, and it's there's a whole lot of technicalities that goes into it. So because of that, I like TV series. So I use that experience to develop Our Share, which is a group of girls in a house. Our Share, as the name said, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah. Great. This is alive and well. Let's go to chase.
Wow, what can I say? For me, it would have to be when I was working on Housewives and Girlfriends. Um, Housewives and Girlfriends was the first, well, maybe the first TV series that was bought internationally by a broadcaster. African Magic bought it, and before that time, like if you're starting out in Nollywood, you don't often get like the big bucks you get in media, in mainstream. So most of the monies were put in by myself, and that was really challenging because there was I putting my money into the project. I was also working at the time as well, and so all my funds was coming into the production, and you're just having different challenges. It's obstacle from various people, uh, and um, and people didn't want the production to succeed. So that was quite tough. And so for 18 months, when I did Housewives and Girlfriend, I slept on the floor. I practically all the monies that I had, I actually downsized my property. I downsized, I sold whatever I could sell, and downsized and invested as much as possible into the production. And because I felt that every money matters when I did Housewives and Girlfriends, I put everything into the production itself. So for 18 months, I slept on the floor. And that was tough. I must say to you today, my back, people say to me that if you sleep on the floor, it's quite good for you. But I'll probably say that my back never recovered because it was such a tough time for that 18 months that I slept on the floor just to make Housewives and Girlfriend a success, which it ended up being. But I don't think people realize that success is not, people that are successful that I know, based on my experience, have not achieved it based on a click of a finger like that. It's hard work, it's grafting, it's determination, and it's foregoing and foregoing so many things, so many luxuries, and just to be able to achieve it.
Thank you. What were the things?
I guess for me, I never thought I'll come out of it. I thought it was just because it was going on for 18 months. It was just on and on and on and on. And I do you know what? I never thought I'll come out of it. And and that was it. That was the honest truth. I never thought I'll come out of it. I was spending so much money. I was getting a lot of grief from Nollywood at the time. Uh, People were just stressing me out. It was just unbearable. And so I never thought I would succeed.
Okay, so here you were, sleeping on the floor,
Um, you know, it's just now I'm looking back, thinking, gosh, it was bad then, but now I'm thinking, what were they like? Um, you know, there were gossip. People were saying the wrong things about the people that were working around me. People didn't want me to work with certain people or certain individual at the time, and there was a lot of backstabbing, negative comments, and and people just going to tell people else don't go on Rhoda's production, and so you have a cast. The cast wouldn't come on production because people have gone behind and told them not to come on my production. And gossip, and when you're on set, people are filming and calling other people and telling them what you're doing, you know, and everybody laughing behind you because they just felt that, you know, it's just, oh, what is she doing? What is she
going
doing?
nowhere.
So I guess it was at the time. I honestly, Mark, if you ask me today, I can't believe I went through that. I go through different experiences in different situations, but I think that was worse because before that I was in Lagos, Nigeria, where I went to do some lots of investment, and I'd already lost money in Nigeria in October 2012, and I was there. It was such a bad experience. So having lost money in Nigeria and I've just about managed, I remember taking the bus with my crew from Enugu to Lagos. And so having lost everything, I was sick on the way, all the way back to Lagos. And then I managed to get a flight back to London. So I managed to get a job, save some money, decide, okay, I'm not going to give up because it's like riding a bike for me. When you fall, you've got to get up again and get back on the bike. Because if you fall and don't get back on the bike straight away, you'll find that you become so afraid of getting back on the bike. So as soon as I can get some monies, I decided that I was going to do another production. And when I went to Nigeria at the time, I was doing the Rhoda Wilson show. This was a very popular show. And the Rhoda Wilson show took me to a lot of places. And one of the reasons I actually went to Nigeria at the time was because there was an opportunity to interview some of the politicians. Like if you're an independent producer like myself, one of the things you do is that you pitch your ideas to politicians in Nigeria because you know when elections is coming, you want them to have you there. And so we got there, we pitched, they liked us, and and they just kept us waiting, waiting. And it was really tough, you know. All the monies that I had, I would just keep giving. And one of the things I learned as well for my sins, for my blessings, I used to be a music promoter, and I once went to New York, and at the time I wanted to bring over Mark Anthony, who used to be This is just a side story. Who used to be, who is now married to, was once married to Lopez, Jennifer Lopez. So then he does salsa, and I like salsa. So I wanted to bring him. So when I went there, and a friend of mine told me, look, Rhoda, if you want people to respect you as a business person, never stay in a poor hotel when you go abroad to win business. Stay in a business area hotel. That was one of the advice I was given when I started out as a business person. So when I go out on a business trip, I never stay in what Nigeria call Yama Yama hotel or a budget hotel. I always stay in a business hotel, business class hotel. Now I stay, I'm grateful and I'm comfortable now. I can afford to stay in a good hotel. But when I was starting out, you save all your money and you make sure that that hotel you stay there. Where? And you do all your business meetings there. And the reason I was telling you this is that when I was in Nigeria, I had to rent a place in Wuse in Abuja because, from my experience as a business person, when you go to Nigeria and these politicians feel that, my God, this girl is living in one place, we will not, she will know she can't, how can she want us to interview? How can she want to interview us? So we spent money on a big apartment. We just spent whilst we were there. So, and we were spending because we were hoping at the time we win that big contract. Nigeria, when you win that contract, man, you won the contract. So, yeah, and we never won the contract. So I came back to London. Huh? Okay. Sorry, you're gonna. I came back. And then I lost all my money. Huh? Oh, Mark, I was devastated because not only for me, but also for my crew. There were five of us, and you know how it works in Nigeria. It's just it was really bad. It was really sad. I was upset, and I was really stressed. Stress and Nigeria in Abuja. Abuja, if you've never lived in Abuja, Abuja is not cheap. It's not a cheap place. You know.
The what I can get from what you're telling us is that different objects, you don't dwell on it.
No.
A lot of people today they dwell on the failure. This person has done this to me. They continue to fraternize with their history instead of embracing it.
Oh my God, me growing up, I was actually born in Lagos, Nigeria, and I grew up in Lagos. I was in Lagos for quite when I was young, and then I came to England to do my boarding school because I went to boarding school in England. And so my life in Lagos when I was growing up was actually great. When we were brought up in a place called Badagry, which is just on the border of Cotonou. And it was, to be honest with you, we had a good life. I can't complain because at the time we didn't know anybody. In Nigeria, we had what they call a compound. So we were only allowed to stay in our compound. We did not have Facebook. We did not have Instagram. I remember the way we enjoyed ourselves is, but we had lots of animals. We had like chickens. We had a farm, so we had to look after the chickens. And then we had goats and we had cats, and we had so many things that we had to do. And so I was kept busy that way. And and also for us, one of the things we do to have fun is that we count cars, different colors of cars going past the road. Oh, there goes blue car. Oh, there goes yellow car. And so that was really that was it. That was my life growing up. And obviously we had to ride a bike around the corner. Huh? Exactly.
At what point did you think, because there's a whole lot of career like
You see, when I was brought up in Nigeria, my dad was always like, "Whether women would change the world." I never experienced any racism or any challenges being a woman in Nigeria and growing up. And my dad is, I love my dad to bit for the fact that he believed in me as a woman, and he believed that women can change the world, was actually myself a platform for me to propel. And so coming here to the UK, I was quite surprised. I came here in the 80s, and I was quite surprised that, when you have a name, I used to apply for a job and I used to put all my full name, Rhoda Wilson, Genoba Ogenevu. I put all my traditional name on the CV. Nobody gave me a job. And so I had to abbreviate the name to give me a step to go through the door. And so Rhoda Wilson became my name, which is my real name. And so it was then that I decided, listen, I need to create a TV series. And then I became a music promoter. And when I became a music promoter, I went to a guy called Eze Marcel. God bless him. He used to have a school, Concept College. I will never forget, in Stockwell. And I went to him. I said, "Listen, Eze, I want you to sponsor my movie, sponsor my what they call music event." He goes, "Well, I know. Why don't you put yourself on TV? Because you have a good story to tell, and you can change the world." So that is what I did, actually. So I decided to create the Rhoda Wilson Show because I wanted to show positive role model, and also, to just promote the Black community, really, at the time. And at the time, Oprah Winfrey was my inspiration, and a lady called Trisha as well. I don't know many people remember Trisha. I used to like watching Trisha. And so that is how I started, and that is how I went into the media industry. And then from there, obviously, became a producer, and then a director, writer, and so on.
Mira, just for you, just instinct. Somebody says a word, direct your instinct, and then you go in a particular path. Is that what I'm getting from what you're saying?
That is true, but also, like, when I came back from Lagos and I had some challenges, I didn't want to do the Brother Wilson show anymore, because when you're successful, everybody likes you. And when I was doing the Brother Wilson show, I was quite successful. Everybody loves me. But when I went without difficulties, I find that I lost a lot of friends. And I felt so sad that I felt that I could not go back to doing the show. But I love production, and I love stories, and I like telling stories. So what I then decided to do was to use my skills to create TV series. And then subsequently, I went training. I did producers course, I did directors course, I did writing course, and just used that with my passion to create so many other productions. So it's not so much. It's what I love doing. I love telling stories, and I think when I'm 90, I'll still be saying, "Cut, action," or maybe they might need a new phrase. I don't know, but that is what. It's not so much. It's my passion. It's what I love doing, and I will do it in my sleep. So yeah.
That's great. If you have three people then
Oh, that's a bit of a difficult one. There's been so many people in my life that have come to my life that have been very supportive.
pick three people that you will say thank you to. I know there are millions of people.
Um, I'll probably say I'd like to thank my sister Amina, my family. Obviously, I have to thank them, and my best friend, one of my good friend Betsy, and the last one is a bit of a tough one. So it's between a friend of mine called Pretty and Wendy. So yeah. And they've been with me for years. So, and obviously Minira too. Now I'm thanking the whole world.
It's all right. I'm sure the other people that will use the version, they know the whole special place.
Oh, they are. I've been so blessed.
Now, what would you say to your 16-year-old self?
16.
What would you, if you look back at 16-year-old you, what would you say to your 16-year-old self?
I'll probably say that I wouldn't say, I wouldn't change anything. The only thing probably I would say to my 16-year-old is that don't work too hard. There is more to life than work. And that's all I'll say, I wouldn't change what I am today, apart from to say to my 16-year-old that as you get to a certain age, work should not be, because I love working and it's so much in my blood. When I'm sleeping, I'm working. So I'll probably, if I could say something to my 16-year-old again, it would be that life, you should live life, not just work.
Enjoy life, not just work. Okay, and your mantra, motivational words.
My motivational word is from a lady called Maya Angelou. It says, if the road ahead is not looking good and you can't go back, carry your portmanteau and start a whole new road.
Wow.
But that's not how she said it, obviously. I put my own Nigerian slang into it.
You're meant to tell it.
Sorry?
If the road ahead is not looking good, carry your portmanteau.
Right.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much, Rhoda, for joining us on the live well.
Thank you.
It's been an amazing interview.
It has
sharing.
been.
Just finished the production. Just tell us about that,
Well, you can catch me on Facebook. I'm on Rhoda Wilson Productions. You can follow me there. And also on Instagram and Rhoda Wilson 1. On Twitter, I am Rhoda Wilson TV. And my website, if you want to go to, is www.rhodawilson.com.
And your movies, your Netflix, is Amazon.
Housewives and Girlfriends on Amazon Prime, so please do watch it. Do you know what? I've got so many things happening. I've got a Christmas movie I'm working on. I've got so much happening. Yes, you can catch Housewives and Girlfriends on Amazon Prime. Please go and support us. I'm not one person that I'm ashamed to say, please support me. Please support me. Go and watch it, and I'll be so grateful. So yes.
Very sweet. Thank you very much, Rhoda Wilson.
Thank you.
There you are from Rhoda Wilson. I'll remove you from the studio now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye for now.